Hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about leadership and also Jeremiah's elbow. What in the world is going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast with Michael and
Jeremiah.
How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm doing good. How are you?
What's the shirt say? Is that a fishing shirt?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, I see the hook. Oh, yeah. Cool. Real life, like a fishing. I get it.
You get it?
I get it. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Leadership. Well, we also have our two beautiful ladies with us today. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing good? We've already had a few.
Good.
Oh, my gosh. The throat
I'm
clear.
good. I'm good.
Oh, that's so funny. How was y'all's day? How was work?
Slow.
No comments?
Yeah, no. My boss might be listening.
Give her a raise.
Amen.
Give her a raise. Come on. Let's start out. What is going on with the elbow?
Well, I think I've been playing too much golf.
Yeah, probably right.
I mean, because I had to look it up on WebMD or just Google or whatever, because I have this like massive amount of fluid on my elbow. It's like it's more like a kneecap.
It looks
now.
like a golf ball. Kneecap. Look like a kneecap.
So I don't know. I think it's called bursitis. Is it, babe? You actually
see every time you say it, I want to say bruschetta.
I know.
So
I call it
bronchitis.
I call it bruschetta and bronchitis, everything else. But
Yeah.
I think it's called
bursitis.
bursitis.
Right? Okay. Spell that.
No.
Yeah.
Starts to be.
Starts with a B, and it looks. Let's see it. Let's see it.
You don't want to see it.
Yes,
okay.
we do.
Right. One more time.
It looks. It's so, and then it bunches up when you.
Would you like to feel it?
Oh yes. Let me see. Is
Oh, no.
Oh, it really.
Feel it.
It doesn't hurt when you do that. Oh, no. It really does feel squishy.
It is.
Oh, what's those kid toys?
Those kush balls,
Yeah.
whatever they
Yeah.
are.
That's what. Oh, gnarly.
Yeah.
From too much coffee.
I guess I don't really know.
At this age,
yeah. I mean,
you got out of bed.
over 40 now, so
Yeah, it's like
right.
Everything.
I was down at the New Beginnings putting together a bunch of beds. They had a ton of twin beds they had to put up, and I was just cranking on this wrench like all afternoon, and like I looked down and my elbow is huge.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm doing nothing but putting a bed together. But it's been kind of acted up, ever since I went pro, golfing.
since I joined the PGA Tour. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my God, it looks pretty.
Like
not
after
fun.
you get done recording, you need to go to the doctor.
I
like the emergency
You
room.
need to stop this short. Like you need to get that looked at.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
if it doesn't go away in the next few days, I'm definitely going to have to go to the doctor.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
Man, that's so funny. Yeah, like we said, at this age, it's like you start limping. Everybody's like, "Oh, what happened? What happened?" Like I got out of bed this morning.
Yeah, for real.
It's too fast. You got to slow it down.
Or you like, I slept wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You're at that age where you can just sleep
And it
wrong.
hurts. Yeah.
Like I don't know what happened. Something during my sleep. Like what?
Everything hurts.
You used to like, oh man, football 5 days a week and you'd be fine,
Oh,
but
yeah.
now it's good Lord, anything. But yeah, well, we're going to be talking about leadership on today's episode. So let's just start out and jump right on in. How many of y'all feel like leaders? and crickets. Heard this question asked before. Raise your hand if you feel like a influencer.
I do. I feel like an influencer.
And the answer to that is we all.
Yeah, we all have an influence.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we're all leaders. You're all somebody is looking up to you somewhere. You know, Jamie, before we started, you say, I'm not a leader. Don't talk to me over here, but you are. You may not think of yourself that way, but we all are. You know, we all got people that look up to us, and I can't tell you how many of the youth girls look up to you because you're a leader. Why don't you see yourself as a leader?
I don't know. I think it just stems from like not being worthy is the main. I don't know. Maybe it's that I need to work on myself more. I don't know. I just always feel like, oh, well, I'm not worthy enough for them to look up to me because I fall just as much as they do, if not more. So that's my mindset. But I mean, I know people, I know my 3 kids especially look up to me and, you know, people at work, and you always try to steer people towards, you know, God and reading the Bible. But I mean, sometimes we fall. Like the other day I was getting my hair done, and, you know, my hairdresser was just going on, you know, she's going through a divorce right now. And sometimes some people just need, you know, to hear like, it's going to be okay. Like, but it's almost like when I left there, I felt like I should have said more. Like, you know, like you should have told her, you know, encouragement and you got this. But I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I could see some of the random boys like, boom, encouragement.
You know, I think there's also like a misconception with leadership requiring someone to have that type A personality that is just real, you know, boisterous and pushy almost. And, you know, you don't have to be like that to be a leader. You can be silent and set good examples and be a leader without saying a word.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think that's the big thing with those who don't consider themselves leaders. They don't see themselves as being outgoing enough,
right, or
talkative enough, you know. And it's like there's been a lot of leaders throughout history that didn't have much to say, but when they spoke up, you know, Jeremiah, I tell you this all the time. You don't talk as much as I do. You know, you're not as loud and outgoing in that way. But when you talk, your words carry weight to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's people pay attention because you have something to say. You know, that those times that you do talk is very powerful. So I feel like a lot of people fall into that. Oh, I'm just not outgoing. You know, I'm shy, so I'm not a leader. You don't have to be, you know, outgoing to be a leader.
Right.
Lead by example.
And I know that in our home, you know, there's a lot of times whenever, because I'm more comfortable at home, I talk a lot more at home. But when my wife speaks up, she's always got insight above and beyond what I can come up with. And a lot of the stuff that I say on here is stuff I'm just regurgitating that I've heard from her. I mean, she's...
Yeah, it rubs off.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What do you have to say over there, Missy?
I don't know. I was thinking about what Jamie was saying is not feeling like a leader, and we feel like sometimes we fail and stuff like that we're not a great leader. But I think what I was thinking of is, you know, leadership. None of us are perfect. There's only one, and that was Jesus. And it's how are we dealing with those times where we fail, or those times that that we maybe not feel that way. We're even leading people through that because, you know, no one is perfect. We all go through trials. We all go through temptations. We all do that. But if we, as a leader in our home or a leader in, you know, like youth ministry or whatever, if when we fail, we just stop, you know, then I would say you're not being an effective leader. But if you show them, okay, you know what, I messed up. I'm going to God and I'm repenting and I'm turning away. And then now I'm going to move forward. And they see that. That's still being a great leader.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even with what you were saying with, you know, talking to your hairdresser and wishing that you would have said more.
Yeah.
I really believe, I mean, that to me, that's the enemy coming to you and saying, you know, what you did was not effective. And I just want to tell you, you are led by the Lord. And if God gives you something, you know, afterwards, maybe you still reach out to him or something like that. But just to encourage you, you know, you did exactly what God wants you to. And he's proud of you because you did at least you shared.
Yeah.
And that's more than a lot of people do. I mean, he just wants a willing vessel.
Oh, yeah.
And each of us, like you guys were saying, we're all called to lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all called to go out into the world and make disciples. That is not just up to preachers. That's not just up to youth ministry. That's up to the church body as a whole.
Yeah.
You are wherever you are. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you're leading those children, those babies into, and they're watching you. I see it with Max. Man, there's sometimes where I'm just like, he is a mini me. Like I wonder sometimes, I'm like, why are you doing stuff like that? And then I look and say, okay, he learned that from me. Yeah. They mimic and things like that. So, I mean, that's kind of at the same time, it's kind of, it's a huge thing to think about when we're being leaders is to being wise in our leadership and in our homes. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big weight to carry.
oh my,
You
yeah.
have to watch your steps. You've got people watching you, especially like you said with little kids, man. They're watching everything you do and mimicking everything you do. The way you walk, the way you talk, the things you say. You'll see them saying it. And it's like, oh, snap.
Right. Well, I went through, like with Max, for example, I went through like a really challenging time for 20 years, basically. And when he was born in the midst of chaos in my home. And now, like, I'll see him. I believe it's probably every 30 minutes he'll come to us and say, I love you. Can I have a hug? And it's almost to the point where it's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say it, but it was me while I was raising him. I needed that reassurance at that time. So he has learned that behavior of, I love you. I need a hug. I love you. I need a hug. I love you. I need a hug.
Yeah.
And it was just like now teaching him, okay, that's wonderful. I love that you want to hug like every 5 minutes, but know that I love you, even if I don't hug you, like we got to move on from that. Yeah. But you see that, well, why is he like that? Well, a lot of his forming time was during a really hard time in my life.
Yeah.
And so, it's like every time he does it now, I haven't even told Jeremiah this, but it's like the Lord is saying, you need to fix that. You need to fix that. He's such a loving kid. Don't get me wrong. And I don't want to fix that part of him, but that he feels like he has to have that every 30 minutes. Let's move on. And it's been very convicting to me. Like, okay, you need to realize who you are in Christ, Missy. It's time for that. And to not feel like you have to get I love yous or hugs from people because they're going to fail you. But I'm there every day and I've got my arms around you. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I don't know if it has anything to do with leadership, but
Oh, yeah.
there you go.
It was good. Yeah.
Because that's learned. Now, like you said, it's learned behavior.
Yeah, it is.
And it makes you look at your leadership abilities and say, this is what I need to change. Now I can see where he's at, how he's got that from me. So now let's move forward. And, so what do y'all look for in a leader and someone you look up to or someone you consider a leader in your life? What are those key attributes that you look for in someone?
Who's up? Me?
Yeah, whoever.
For me personally, I think I look for someone who, regardless of what the decision is, that they make it in confidence. Like right or wrong, that they're sure of themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to follow somebody or it's easier to buy into somebody's idea when they're selling you on it. You know what I mean? Like if they're sold on it and they're confident, and and they don't always have to pan out, but at least that they were in it 100% and they were confident enough to make that call. And I don't know. I guess confidence is a big thing with me. And being able to admit wrongs is another big thing.
Yeah.
Because like Missy said, not every decision is going to be a winner. Not everything you try. Because I like to surround myself with people who are like vision minded. That have big visions. Yeah. And a lot of times that doesn't always work out. Because you've got so many irons in the fire, and you got so many different directions you want to go. And a lot of times things don't pan out the way that you think they are. But I think that it's easier for me to be around and relate to people who are vision minded than somebody who sits back and doesn't really have any motivation.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Someone that swings. I'd rather have someone swing for the fences than someone that refuses to get up to bat.
I don't know who quoted it or who said it, but it says, I've heard that if you're the smartest man in the room, then you need new friends.
Yeah.
Get new
Oh,
friends.
that's good. Yeah.
You need to be
Yeah.
surrounded by people who challenge you. I want to be the dumbest one in the room, because I want to learn. I want to gather information. I want to pick their brain. I want to grow from
good.
being around, being around people. And, I don't know, I just think that's something that always just stuck out with me.
That's good. Yeah. And the big one that I take away from what you just said is the being able to fail and say, you know what, it didn't work out like that. My bad.
Right.
Like, let's move on.
Right.
That takes a big man or woman.
Because there's a lot of ways you can handle that. You can cover it up and try to make it, look like it was just, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways you can handle that. And I mean, I want to be the kind of person that just fesses up and says, look, that's my bad.
Yeah.
Not try to make it out to be something else. Like, well, that wasn't really my fault. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah,
pass
absolutely.
the buck on someone else or somewhere else. And,
Yep.
I think, being able to be accountable for your actions is a big thing.
Oh,
That's true.
That's good. All right, ladies.
I don't know. I didn't have a lot of leaders, women of Christ in my life growing up. So, and I'm still, we're still young in ministry, but like Jeremiah said, of course, confidence. And, just like a woman of Christ that, has the knowledge, like Missy or someone that just has an ear to listen to you if you're having a bad day or you're feeling just an off day for me. But I mean, I don't know. That's a good question.
For me, it's I look at the relationship with Christ, number one, and where they're at on that. If they're, I love like the older saints that have been through, like my grandma. She went through the Depression, and she like is so full of faith. I can remember like going through a really, really challenging time and calling her and saying, "Grandma, I need you to pray." And she didn't. I mean, I don't think the woman said bye. She was just like, okay, click. And I knew she went right into her prayer closet. I remember going to her house and visiting her, and her and my grandpa coming up to the door, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I can't visit right now. It's our time to pray." And I'm like, turning me away. And that challenged me. It's like somebody that is on another level, like their faith is on another level, and it motivates me to move in that way. Just like what Jeremiah was saying, where somebody, you want to be the dumbest person in the room. People are smarter than you. I want somebody that's got, like, I'm a very vision oriented person. And when I want to do something in the ministry, I'm all in and I'm like giving it all. But somebody that leadership, like I think of Pastor Tim and Tina, they are true leaders. They love the way they love the church. And they are all in, and you see them together. They're, they doing ministry separately, but then together as a church, that is true leadership. Yeah. And they're pulling people beside, saying, "Come help us." It's not that we are the leaders, but I want you to come alongside me and be the church outside of the building and stuff like that. That to me is true leadership and who I want to put my cart with. The same with like you guys, when we moved down here, we didn't know why we moved down here, but I can remember telling Jeremiah, I think it was to meet you all, to get connected because it just, together there's just power and agreement and what you guys were talking about, unity and things like that, and I don't know, it's true signs of leadership. And I came out of, I'm going to be talking too much. You told me I was going to talk a lot today.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah sent me a text. He's like, "You're going to be talking a lot." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm going to barely say a word." But, I mean, I'm just going to get real right now. I was married before Jeremiah, obviously. I've got 4 kids, and I was in the ministry for 20 years. And the reason I'm not in ministry is because of my ex-husband and a moral failure. And so when we're talking about leadership, it really hits home because I've seen what damaged leadership can do to a church. We were a thriving church of one church with 3 locations. I mean, it was we were going, and towards the end of the ministry, I was pretty much the pastor. My ex-husband was not there anymore, basically. I mean, he was there, but not there. But I see, what it means to have people that are, you are accountable to. In leadership, you need people around you that are going to hold you accountable, that you can be open with. You know, we talk about that with sin. We talk about that with addiction. We talk about that with, you know, all the other things. But when you are a leader, I'm telling you, you need people that are going to be there and say, you know what, I don't think you're going the right way right now.
Yeah,
and
right.
being okay with that. You know, so many times we have pastors that are not okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to have people surround them with yes men.
Yep.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you that a warning: do not do that, because when you are surrounding yourself with just yes men, you've opened yourself up to, you know, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You need to have people that are around you that are going to agree with you in prayer and be led by the Holy Spirit, but then also, you know, love you enough to confront whenever there is a situation in your life. I wish it was that way in my own life, you know. And then going back to when I seen a church that was hurt by a failure or whatever like that, I have like so much guilt in that, where I wish I would have done things differently as a leader in that church.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I just think I should have opened myself up more. I'm really bad about putting walls up, and I'm probably worse sometimes now even. And the Lord has really been dealing with me of you know, tearing down those walls, because if you want to be a leader, you can't lead by holding people at arm's length, saying, stay back there. You know, who wants to follow that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And who would think that is a great leader? Because, you know, if you're a follower of Jesus, you're going to love people.
Yeah.
You're not going to hold them away going, you know, I don't trust you. I don't, you know, I'm going to keep you at a distance because you could hurt me or whatever. And so I would challenge people too, you know, I think I had prayers where I see visions of, you know, myself. This is going to sound funny, but walking around myself like 7 times until the walls fall down, you know, because, you know, it needs to happen. If that, let it go and surrender yourself. And if you want to lead, then, you know, you're going to have to work on yourself, you know, and see those key areas and be okay with having God shine a light on every corner of your heart.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we talked about a little bit last episode is leading by following, you know, by serving, you know, saying, you know, spending your time, doing your due diligence. And what is it when you go putting your time in, you know, doing the small things and building up that is one part of a leader that I look for. That's why I love Pastor Tim and Tina. Like you said, is seeing them out sweating, handing out food, or like, you know, today we were down messing with wires all day. Like, you don't see that by very many leaders.
Yeah.
They're too good for that kind of work.
Right.
You know, it's we get somebody to do that, but to see them doing those small things, that's what I look for in a leader. You know, and another big thing I think about all these leaders, you know, the Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. I love looking up to somebody who dares to do something different, who dares to say it's never been done. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to get it accomplished. You know, seeing Steve Jobs drop out of college and go and start this company that he had no idea himself how to do these things, but he could push people enough. He had good enough ideas and good enough drive to push people to do these things that's never been done. And it's people like that change the world. You know, it's people like that I look for in a leader, somebody to step out and say, I don't know how we're going to do it, but here we go. Like I see the vision. A pastor had me the other day, and we looked out the window. So you see all them people out there, thousands of people just getting saved. It's like, just look out there. Do you see it? I'm like, yeah. You know, people like that, they can look at an empty field and go, man, I see it full of people, you know, crying their hearts out to the Lord. And it's like, those are the type of people I want to be tied to, is the people that dare to see things different than everybody else sees them. You know, you may look stupid while you're doing it, you know. Watch some of these filmmakers as they're filming these scenes, they look like crazy people. You know, they're out there down and filming stuff, and then you see the final product and you go, oh,
right.
I couldn't seeing them film from the outside. I couldn't see what they're seeing. I couldn't understand what they're seeing is going to come out of this until you see the final product. You go, oh, I understand. You know, it's those kind of people that it may look weird, it may look funky, it may look crazy, but the end result looks amazing. It's like, oh, I understand now. So
good.
that's those kind of leaders I really love, you know. And I'm more of a focus on kind of younger pastors, I guess, because it's time we as a church, we've got to change things up. You know, the status quo, the way things have been, isn't working. The world sees right through it. You know, they see through this facade of, you know, here's the rules, here's how you've got to do everything, as opposed to here, get a relationship with who Christ is and let him work those things out. You know, and I love seeing these pastors come up from nothing. You know, pastors that now have taken over churches. You know, Michael Todd, who came from nothing, he just served in this church and in this community for years, and then all of a sudden he was pastor of this church, and it's just blown up. He said, I remember he told a story about he wrote down the fact that they were going to own like a gigantic stadium in his town, and people thought he was nuts. I mean, this is a $10 million stadium. Within 2 years, like that's now where they're having church. Like it's people like that are crazy enough to stand on the ledge to say, "All right, let's go. Are y'all ready to go?" You know, that's who I look for in a leader and look forward to following. So those are the type of people that really get my blood just pumping. What is it? No, it's not chaps my hide. That's like a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm trying to get some of these sayings down with Jeremiah. You never know. What'd you just throw out a minute ago? You threw something out like a little saying. Like,
I don't know.
I gotta watch him. Be in my
Be in his
bonnet.
bonnet.
That killed me.
Get your motor running.
There
yeah.
you go. Okay,
There's
that's a good one.
for you.
Yeah, it really revs up my engine.
Oh, you're redlining, man.
Oh yeah, I'm dying over here. I did ask after that episode. I went and asked Pat and everybody here in the office, like, do y'all know? And everybody knew what it was.
Oh yeah, it's not. I didn't make it up.
Yeah,
Just
right.
like, I just like scoot back into the corner. I'm like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
so out of place right here. You didn't know? Did you know about that?
Heck
no.
no.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like,
No.
Y'all don't have bonnets in Malden.
yeah, I was like, is that
We
like
grew up in Mennonite country.
I was
man.
gonna say,
We had
we're an
Amish and Mennonite
area.
all around.
We barely know how to spell bonnet.
Have you ever seen a horse and buggy? I mean, for real?
yeah, just like
Yeah, just passing.
not like in real life.
Not in real
Not
life.
like
Right.
I mean, not like in person, like standing
So,
there, like we've seen like passing by.
So whenever, like where we grew up in Versailles, like to go to Jeff City, our capital, you know where that's at?
yes, I'm with you on that.
So there's this like back road, Sea Highway, and if you were to take this road any time of day or any time at night, you're gonna almost run over half a dozen buggies. I mean, it's just the way it was. And there's Amish farms and Mennonite farms everywhere out there.
I got behind one in McDonald's. I had to take a picture because it was a buggy.
They were in,
And wait for it. On top of their buggy was a mattress. And it was
wow.
it was great. So I had to take a picture and post it on Facebook, you know. And
Our Walmart actually had like hitching posts for
yes.
horses in front of it.
What?
Where they
it's like a whole nother world.
is.
I
You should come visit
know.
sometime.
Well, I've heard they like build houses and have good shampoo and soaps.
They do.
That's
I mean, like, no offense. I'm still.
I hope so.
well, I know.
They have like
That's
they
awesome.
have like 13-year-old kids that'd be like roofing your house. for
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just like super efficient and
you. Right. And
I know I've
they're
seen
like the foreman on the crew. Like the 8-year-olds are
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the real
Oh
work.
wow.
more manly than I am. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I know I have seen like where they move a barn. You know, where they pick it up and move a barn. Like, man, that's
Yeah, I seen
Beast
that too.
mode.
Beast mode.
oh my goodness. But no, like we'll see them like going to Branson every now and then, like passing
Right.
by.
Yeah.
Still don't know what a bonnet was. I thought it was hair.
Oh my gosh.
Like you know, like the
Like a bun or
yeah,
something?
yeah, like the ladies, in the church got their hair up,
We call it, what is that, Pentecostal updo or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah. I
I
love
about Missy's things. You don't know mine. Huh?
yeah.
What am I?
I'm cool.
Chopped liver over here.
Like chopped liver over here. Like I love seeing those ladies that still have the same hair, like from when we were in youth.
Yeah.
And we see the same lady, and I mean, still
the
same exact
same.
hairdo. I mean, looks every single day looks exactly the same. It's like, how do they get it to stay the same every day? That's real
amazing.
leadership right
That's
there.
dedication. That's
Yes,
that,
it is.
that's doing a
Great
small thing.
hairspray.
Yeah.
I mean,
Aqua.
Aquanet.
Aquanet.
Oh gosh. I mean, because you wake up some days and your hair just doesn't do. No, not these ladies.
Yeah, no.
No. Just
They probably
on
don't
point.
leave the house if it doesn't cooperate.
That's true
Probably
too.
true.
You know, they're like, I can go to the store tomorrow.
Try again tomorrow.
Try
Like,
again tomorrow.
that kind of happens to me every now and then when I'm doing. I'm like, no, I'll just rewash
Or they
it.
like wear a scarf. I've seen some wear a scarf
Yes.
around their head.
Now, does your grandma wear? She doesn't wear a
I think
scarf, does
so.
she?
Sometimes.
Yeah, my grandma always did.
She's
If
go,
it was a
she
little
goes,
bit windy,
Yeah.
Scarf's going on.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
goes
Tied
every
in the
couple
chin.
weeks to get a perm. Yeah.
She's so awesome, though.
Yeah. She is.
Awesome lady.
I couldn't get a perm if I tried. My hair would break off and die.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even need a perm. I got too much black in me for that. My hair's already got them waves to it. Or Hawaiian, or it's always something. Spanish, Hawaiian, Italian.
My daughter
cover
is
a
like
lot.
that. Like she is obviously, I mean, she's white, but there's people like, what are you?
Yeah.
Because she's got dark hair. She looks like she doesn't belong to our family, like completely and totally. Because all my kids are blonde haired, either blue eyes or brown eyes. But then we have Kaylee that's like black hair, like jet black hair. And yeah, she's like, Mom, they asked me again, what am I? I'm like, guess.
Yeah,
Just
Make
pick
something up.
one.
What do you
have
think?
fun with it.
Yeah. Like, well, what are you feeling today? I don't know. Yeah, that's so true. But so how do y'all feel? Let's break down our pastors. How y'all feel about their leadership? Just in the little time, because I've known them for a long time. But how do y'all feel, kind of being new? Not only new around here, but new to this church. Like, how do y'all feel so far things are going, in leadership overall? Y'all have kind of seen the ins and the outs of regular service and then outside of it.
Right. I mean, my initial thoughts on this are that they do a wonderful job. I mean, they made us feel like we're right at home from day one. I mean, they've loved on us. They love our family. They've allowed us opportunities in ministry to. Missy's going to be preaching here in about a week or so.
Come on now.
That's
And,
awesome.
they've just really, they took us, pastor took us into the office and said, what do y'all feel called to do?
Yeah.
How can you fit in here? We want to use you guys. We want you guys to, be involved. And, what does that look like to you? And man, to me, they've been amazing. Like you said, their work ethic is unbelievable. Like you were talking about, he was up here on his belly today, helping you with the chords.
Yeah.
Last night, he was on his back underneath the sinks down at the New Beginnings, hooking up all the sinks in the women's facility, and it's just, he's a big dude, and those are like really little areas underneath there. And I don't know, it's just, they're awesome, man. I love them for sure.
Yeah, I was going to agree. They lead by example. I mean, they're not afraid to get dirty, and I love their vision for the church, and how they minister outside of the church as well. I don't know. It's just like, you ever feel like your hearts are connected with somebody, like you know what? I want to help them do whatever I can to carry out their vision. And that, to me, if just being here for a few months, I feel that way, they are leading well, that there's so many people that just want to jump on board to help. And, I've been in ministry, I've led churches, and to see so many people wanting to help, wanting to do things is amazing. Yeah. Because I mean, the churches I was in, there was just a handful of people that did all the work, but the way they spread it out, and they, like what Jeremiah was saying, they made us feel welcomed, and their heartbeat, like, if you look at Jesus and how he ministered, he met the physical need, then he met the spiritual need. Yeah. You look at Lighthouse, what are they doing? Yeah. They're going out and they're meeting the need that is physical. And then he's going to see the mighty harvest of thousands of people. Why? Because he's doing the heart of what Jesus would do. Yeah. And so, to me, I mean, I cannot praise them enough. Yeah. I mean, they are amazing. And that's the kind of leadership I want to be in. And you know what? They look at people and see, what giftings do you have? What can you do? And what can I do to push you in that area? Yeah. They're not afraid of someone being better than they are or something like that. That is true leadership.
Yeah.
There's too many people out there that are afraid that someone's going to take over
Yeah,
or,
that's good.
oh no, you know, they're better than me. So let me squash them back.
Yeah.
But they're like, no,
Yeah.
you know, do it.
Yeah.
What can I do to empower you and go forth? I mean, if you don't have a church home, Lighthouse would be awesome for you. Just saying.
Come on,
That
help.
in there.
Hey, and like I can remember the first day we went in and met with him. He told us something. He said, you know, I love you all. He goes, you guys walk with a limp, and I think I deal with pride a little bit. I mean, I think it's fair to say that we all can deal with pride. And so you want to put on your best face, especially when you're sitting down with a new pastor and you're meeting somebody new. You know what I mean? You kind of want to look like you got it all together.
Yeah.
And he just straight up called us out. You know, he's like, I love it because y'all walk with a limp because you've been through some things. You've seen
Yeah.
some things. I mean, I've battled addiction and alcoholism and stuff. And Missy'd been through a lot with, you know, on her own stuff. And it's just, we walk with a limp, but we've had experiences that are going to be beneficial of moving forward. You know, I mean, we're going to be able to minister to people and relate to people and help people that were in similar situations and stuff. And we own it. You know, I don't have to walk around here and act like I got it all together. You know, it's okay to walk with a limp. And I just thought it's something that's going to stick with me forever. I thought it was amazing the way he brought that out.
Yeah.
All I think about when you say walk with a limp is like a
Limp
You picture me like a peanut with a
just
cane and everything.
Oh, yes. Like I was just seeing Jeremiah, I was like,
Gold
tell me
grill.
you did not walk in. Like, what up, Pastor?
It's my gun walk.
Yeah, it was like, Jeremiah. Like, poor Missy got to sit there and watch that go, man. Like George Jefferson.
Yeah. A limp walk.
Oh, wow.
Dale's in the house, like, and then just like drops the mic on him on the way out.
Oh, my God.
Dale's out.
Peace. Deuces.
Oh, goodness, that's all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My brain.
That was so good, what he said.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was.
That's something. And I thought this was like Circle of Trust. Or that,
That was in the nest.
like open. Like, yeah, I thought it was in the nest. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shame.
All right, Boothang, what do you think about the leadership?
I mean, I agree. They're awesome. I remember when, you know, we left Revive Revive shut down and we kind of came over here and, you know, we didn't have youth anymore. And it was like, what do we do with ourselves? And I was like praying about it. And I was just like, okay, you know, this is a season we're going through and God will work it all out. And I remember when Michael texted me and he was like, how do you feel about being youth pastors? And I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm ready. Let's go. And he was like, cause we're about, you know, we're going to, I was like, dang, like that was fast. I was like, oh man, like he believes in us that much to just throw us in. Like, you know, I mean, he talks to him every day, but I'm just like, is he sure? Like, that's a big youth group, big responsibility. You know, they don't just give it to everyone, but I was so excited. And then, of course, what they do, like, you know, with hope and just giving and Jeremiah House now and New Beginnings, it's just like opens your eyes to like, this is what we're supposed to be. This is being the hands and feet. You know, every day, you know, they're here, they're working and they're serving, and that's how we should be. But yeah, they're awesome. Like if you just have a, you know, conversation with them and tell them, like they can either tell when you're having a good day or they're just there to listen if you're having a bad day. But it's awesome. They are true leaders, and I know I look up to them.
I want to know what's in the water. Like they are always doing something.
Yeah,
Good Lord. It's
they're
like
awesome.
trying to catch them on the way through or on the way by. Like, I mean, Pastor's up here messing with stuff this morning, and just, I bet his phone went off 40 times within 20 minutes.
Wow.
Like crazy. He's taking phone calls and helping with wires and doing this and running downstairs. And it's like, what What do
Yeah.
you what do you got that I need some of that? I need some of that energy.
and I loved when he preached. He talked about, being in a pandemic, and he was like, no, like we have to get out there and feed these people. Like they need us, like just do everything we can. And that was awesome because, we shut down and churches all over shut down and people was out of jobs. And he was like, no, let's do what we can. And I love that he preaches about that.
I love it that the fact that, he's helping other churches with food,
Yeah.
and not saying, this is Hope International or this is Lighthouse helping you, but allowing them to feed their church or their community or whatever like
Yeah.
that. I mean, that, again, leadership.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's some, unfortunately, pastors that would be like, no, this is mine and I'm going
Yeah.
to make my name for it or
that's exactly
whatever.
right.
And I mean, that is leadership. I know he's like, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Jesus and help you be Jesus.
Yep.
It's amazing. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah. And when Pastor Tina, our first service we were in, she spoke actually about Jeremiah House when she got up there and, talked about how she was prophesied over so many years ago and how it's finally coming around. And that is so hard for a pastor's wife. Like you have to be strong, and because you can get overlooked. I've seen it time and time again being a preacher's wife, and it's just like opened your eyes, made you like tear up. And I was like, man,
Sure.
she had to be strong to just step out in faith and be like, it's time now.
Right. I'm just imagining the waiting time for her.
Yeah.
This has been a vision for 20
Yeah.
years or
Yeah.
something like that. And the faith she had to keep it,
Yep.
not give up.
Not give up. Yeah.
But to persevere and say, you know what, God, you said it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see it unfold right now,
Yeah.
and we get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
We get to help
Yeah.
her, and
Just slide right
It's
in.
awesome.
yeah, as it's
all-
happening,
yeah.
we're like, yeah,
Oh, here we
we
are.
are to
We're here.
help.
What are your other two wishes?
right. I mean, I know for myself, I've God has been giving me like dreams and visions since 2012, and I haven't seen it happen, and I've been frustrated. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I've been like almost to the point. Well, there was a season where I was just like, I give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, God got a hold of my heart and was like, what are you doing? And, keep going on. But I'm going to tell you that I am in a season of that frustration, but seeing Tina and how strong she was and how she, again, didn't give up.
Yeah.
And, she may have had times where she was like, is this going to happen? But not to the point that she just let the vision die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and now she's seeing the fruit of it. And it's encouraging
And
for
it's awesome,
my
yeah.
heart because, I'm in that season of wait and I'm getting frustrated. But if I look at her and see, God did it for her,
Yeah.
he'll do it for me.
Yeah.
He'll do it for you, and like what you're saying, a lot of times
Yeah.
the wives are overlooked.
Yeah.
Of
I've seen it so many times, and it takes a strong, women can be leaders also, but sometimes in the church that don't always, like we talked about last week, men head of the household, but I just think it's so awesome that they do it together. Whatever they do, they do it together. He includes her, and they're one.
Amen. Love it.
Yeah, they're just awesome.
We love you guys.
Yeah. Just in case
if you're listening.
Well, look, you better be. I'll edit all this right on out so fast. Don't test me. No, but it really is, man. It's awesome to see them and to see how they push people, like you said, how they push people, but also how they have that balance of push but holding people accountable. I've seen pastor have to get on some heads. And that's hard to do. It's hard to be able to do both of those sides.
Yeah.
You either have a pushover or you have a just super strict that you, like you said, have that wall up and they all about business. It's like, it's so hard to have that mixture, that good in between
Yeah.
Right.
of both. And to see that out of our leaders is awesome. It's awesome to be around and it makes me want to be like that, be more like
Yeah.
that and strive like that. So it's,
Yeah, because they, they're not complaining.
Yeah.
And then you have some people that are like, oh, I'm at,
yeah,
I'm doing all this work and for what?
yeah.
And I'm, some churches, or I'm not getting paid, or
Yeah. Man,
what's
I
the
know
reward?
another thing I love when a leader has the audacity to admit faults in their past
Yeah.
and use that to show people that it's okay where you're at. I've been
Yeah.
there. This is here's lay out where I've been and my my downfalls. I feel like for so long pastors tried to have it, like you said earlier, have it all together.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you just where I am now, like I've got it all together. I'm doing my thing and blah blah blah, and it makes them so unapproachable.
Right.
It makes you feel like, oh, they've got it together. I can't approach them with my problems and talk to them. It's like they don't understand what I've been through. But I love seeing pastors and leaders that have been through the fire, that have been through things, and say and aren't afraid to say it. Aren't afraid to say, man, look, I've been through.
Right. I lived that life where I try to show the public eye that we had it all together. I mean, to the point to where I am sorry to admit this, but I even taught my kids, don't talk to anybody, save face. We're all okay. And now having to go back and retrain them saying, you need accountability people. Yeah. You need people. And they're like, what's going on? Because I taught them to put the walls up.
Yeah.
That was that was the way that I would lead. And then when my world came crashing down, that was a wake up call. And now I can say, at the time I was like, woe is me, God, why are you allowing this to happen, and all this stuff. But now I can say it was the best thing that happened to me to see that. And it's crazy to say, because at one point I was homeless and had no money to my name. And to say, God, I'm thankful for that time in my life because it's brought me to the place that I am today. Yeah. And I have more faith and I have a fantastic husband I don't give enough credit to. I mean, I'm sorry, he's great, but he's had to deal with a lot with me because I am not the easiest person to live with. I'm just gonna.
You are a
say
blessing.
That. Oh, shush it! I'm a gift.
You're a gift.
Yeah, our youth pastor said to Jeremiah once, we were sitting on her couch, and she's like, "Missy's a gift." I'm like, "Oh, Lori, you don't know what you just said." And I'm sure some days he's like, "Where's this gift at?" But it was the best thing that could have happened to me, but like you were talking about, Pastor Tim and Tina, they lead well. And I was in that leadership role where I did not lead well. And the Lord had to push me flat on my face.
Yeah,
and I'm
real quick.
thankful that he removed that pedestal that maybe people almost fell into the microphone, y'all.
Yeah, you remove that pedestal, all right.
I cannot wait until we get this on live. Yeah. Remove the pedestal.
Oh, and I about fell into the microphone. Anyways, what was I saying?
Removing that pedestal.
You're just thankful for what you went through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that if ever I was in a position that, I would be in ministry again, I'm going to do things differently. Yeah. And what I was going to say too, I have so much to say today. I didn't talk very much today, I guess. But with Pastor Tim and Tina, I loved it. We were in a meeting with him about a situation, and Tina calls, and he's like, "Excuse me for a second, I need to get the phone." Yeah. And that, to me, I was just like blown away by that. Yeah. That respect level of his wife, that, it wasn't in a rude way to Jeremiah and I at all. No. Yeah. But it was like, this is important. Yep. My wife's important. Yep. And it, at the moment I was just like, "Oh, Jeremiah, did you see that?" Or whatever. Mm-hmm. But honestly, even in that was leading.
Yeah.
To say, your family needs to come first before ministry, Jesus, and then your family, and then ministry. But anyways.
Yeah, that was cool because I watched a video podcast where that happened in the middle of this is a big podcast, and this preacher, he was talking and his phone was ringing, and you see him look down at it. He's like, "I'm sorry, I got to answer. It's my wife." And then he talked about afterwards, after he got back on, he's like, a lot of people, they think that's rude, but it really does. It's your spouse comes before everybody but God. Right. It's like, that's got to be your number one. And he's like, I'm going to answer it. If she calls, I'm answering it. Right. Like, oh, that's so amazing. I just red button her.
Yeah. I red buttons me all the time. He's like, sorry, I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, all right.
This is not true. What happens is she'll call and let it ring half a ring and then hang up. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to get on him when he calls back.
And then I'll call everyone else that's around you.
And I'll call right back. And she's like, did you red button me? I'm like, no, I was sprinting across the building to get to my phone when, when you were
Right,
calling.
right,
I'm
right,
just
right,
so
right.
sorry.
It's a mobile phone. It goes with you.
Yeah, exactly. And you have an Apple Watch.
You have no room to shop.
I was just glad the attention was not on me for a minute.
Just keep
it over there. Keep it on that side of the table.
Appreciate that.
I've gotten to the place where I think I have like amazing, timing to call Jeremiah. It's always at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to call.
Yep. It don't matter if you call back like 1 minute later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm
Why
like,
didn't you answer?
don't put me on the speakerphone.
Right? Exactly.
I'm like, someone to be mad going off.
Like I'll be at home cooking, like hands in hamburger meat, and she'll call. I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. About
He's
it. I'm just
like, do I want to touch this phone with hamburger meat hands or do I want to get chewed?
I'm like yelling at the phone. I'll call you back.
I'm like, nope, it's
Yeah, she called me earlier and I didn't answer the phone, so I called her right back. And I could tell there was a little attitude there. I was like, do you know what I was doing? And she goes, you were in the bathroom? I was like, no, I was in the bathroom and I had my phone with me.
Yeah, I would have answered.
I was wrapping Max's birthday present and then just get out of jail free call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
When's his birthday?
Tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We're going to take him
that's
to,
awesome.
can I say, yeah, we're taking him to the zoo and then he's
Sweet.
taking off for Florida for a week with grandma
what
and
an
grandpa.
awesome
that's
birthday gift.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
sweet. Oh goodness, what is it gonna be? 5?
Six.
Six.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome. Oh, Maxie, we need to have him and Zeke on.
We got to do that.
You probably ain't gonna understand.
Witchery, you have to.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna
That's
be. It's gonna be Fortnite and
Yeah.
YouTube talk. That's all it's gonna
Zeke.
Unspeakable.
Yeah.
be. Yeah. Any final thoughts? You two beautiful ladies. I gotta get to practice.
I do one thing. My daughter calls me today, and I am so proud of her. My oldest, she called me. She's like, I answered the phone, and she's crying. And my first thought was like, oh, "What happened?
Oh,
Who was
snap.
it? I'll kill them."
Yeah.
And
Of
but
course.
Oh yes.
but she was crying because she was just so grateful, like where she is at in this point in her life, and she's, literally bawling, saying, "Mom, I'm so grateful. All my hard work is paying off, and all this stuff." And she's like, I thank God that I'm in this season of life, and I don't know, it was just like,
That's awesome.
could have been had the worst day, which I wasn't, but if I was, that would have lifted me to the moon.
Yeah.
To see
Oh,
your
yeah.
kid understand where they should be thankful for.
Yeah.
It's, through the Lord and stuff like that. That's when you're like, yeah, I did a good job maybe. But to see that, and I was like, girl, write it down.
Yep.
Write this moment down. Everything you're feeling, everything that just went on, so that when you're not having a good day, you can go back to this moment and see, you know what? God met me there.
Yeah.
I was comforted. I was encouraged. I was everything on this day. I was like, write it down. And I want to encourage people today. If, you've gotten a blessing or you've seen a prayer request answer or something like that, write it down. There's something about having a book or having something, post it on Facebook. I love coming back to my memories and seeing that, because I'm telling you, sometimes you're going to have that season where you're feeling kind of defeated, but you can go back to the day that Lord met you, and it will encourage your heart that he will do it again. And so I'm big on that,
Yeah.
writing things down, because you'll forget.
Oh yeah.
You're in the middle of that where you feel like,
Yeah.
your world is falling apart, and you'll wonder, where is God in this and stuff like that. But if you can get your book of miracles or book of encouragement and read, this is when God met me. I felt like, maybe I wasn't, because at that time she was like, nothing's working out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, just like that, in an instant,
It's like
something changed.
everything's working out.
And she
wow.
called you. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
thank you for leading me. Leadership.
Well, I don't know if she went that far,
Oh,
but
Air
well,
quotes with
I
the
mean,
leadership.
you're
What are you trying to say?
Leadership.
well, you did see me fall into the microphone earlier.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
But anyways, that's my encouragement for y'all to,
That is
you know,
good.
to write it down
Yeah,
and,
that's
and to
good.
look back.
Oh yeah.
Good word.
yeah.
Jamie, you got anything over there?
No, I
Before we
don't. I
go,
think
that-
Missy nailed it.
She's got that fresh hair color though. I know that.
Looks good. I need to know who your hairdresser
you.
is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
What about you,
I fixed it finally
Michael?
and brushed
Man,
it.
I'm just excited. I'm glad. again, glad we get to do this, and I love doing these episodes, especially when we have the wives on, and
Yes.
and I love getting to do it with you. We've become very, very good friends. You are on my favorites list on my phone.
Whoa.
Not an easy list to make it onto,
Wow.
so
I don't know
Kind
if
of-
I'm on there.
kind of a big deal. Yes, you're at the top.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore. But I do have an announcement. I'm pretty excited for. I got to call Jeremiah this morning. We have surpassed 1,000 downloads for our podcast.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a big deal, and thank you all.
Awesome.
Thank you all for listening. Please continue to do that. Continue to share. Continue to share. That's the biggest
Yes.
way to get us out. And eventually, we'll here pretty soon. We're going to be on YouTube with some video podcasts also. So we look forward to that. And man, Jeremiah, been an awesome journey, man. I look forward to it. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining us. This has been another podcast with Almost Brothers with Mike and Jeremiah. Remember, if you don't have a home church, come check us out at the Lighthouse in Dexter, 8:30 outside church underneath the tent, and then inside at 10 o'clock. We love y'all.
Hit him with that. I've got sunshine.
I've got sunshine.